Craig Hospital is a special place for those people who are dealing with primarily traumatic brain injury and spinal cord injury. And one of the big benefits about Craig Hospital is that is all that we do. Jim had an injury to his thoracic spine, or the spine around the rib cage. Within the thoracic spine lives a good portion of the spinal cord, and that spinal cord was injured or bruised, if you will, and he was weak in his legs, but fortunately did have some strength that he was able to capitalize on. One thing that this kind of injury will make you learn is patience, and Jim is no different from anybody else in the fact that you want things to happen, and you want them to happen fast. Things happen in weeks to months versus, hours to days. And that's something that you got to put into perspective.
People tend to take time for granted, and it's not until you've had this type of injury until you really can realize that. It can be frustrating to be getting dressed in the morning or transferring from your bed into your wheelchair, and those things can take a lot of time in the beginning.
As time goes on and they're here for a month, 2 months, 3 months, they kind of just maybe come to terms with what's going on and acclimate.
I'm sure that there are probably a lot of people that have conditions like mine who feel a sense of hopelessness, but there's none of that here. There's no hopelessness at this hospital. I think that has a lot to do with the culture of the staff, and it's almost like an unspoken expectation that patients feel hope in there for recovery. And there's actually just surprisingly little self-pity. Which is cool to me because I haven't, I don't know, for whatever reason, I haven't felt very self-pitying of my condition. It feels good to be around a bunch of other people who are just here to kick butt.
Attitude and work ethic have a huge impact on how people progress and how people do well at Craig Hospital. It gives them such an advantage to be motivated and have a positive attitude. It really can just make their therapy go that much further.
I've seen people that come through and make a great recovery where you could see them walking around town and never know what they've been through. Some people are not as fortunate in the fact that the injury to their spinal cord was too vast and too great to allow any recovery, and I've seen those two extremes and everything in between.
Besides the fact that Craig Hospital specializes in spinal cord injury, I think we are a family and we're a tight-knit community. That family and that support is what makes us so great. Everyone here is on your team. Even the other patients are on your team and they're rooting for you. And the nurses and the doctors and the OTs and the PTs, everyone is here on your side, and we're wanting you to get better. Discharge is a pretty exciting day, I would say. People have typically been here for a couple of months, and at that time we feel like they are safe and ready to go home. If that's with family or if that's on their own, it doesn't matter, but it's pretty exciting that they don't need to be in the hospital anymore. They don't need to see a nurse 12 times a day. They don't need to see a doctor 3 times a day. They're ready to kind of go out on their own. Life is different, but we give them the tools to make it work in the outside world.
sometimes you can be angry and have and harbor a lot of anger towards your accident and what happened and the change in your life, and it doesn't allow you to progress as well as if you are able to accept what your injury is and take it as a challenge and embrace that challenge and try to make the most out of what you have.